Hoo-wee. Okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I am Nate. If you watch my show, you're in my corner. Today's episode is a post-fight show for UFC 169, Barao vs. Faber, Part 2. Exciting rematch, even better than the first match. And yeah, it's a post-fight show, so let's do a rundown of the main card. And yeah, the main event was Barao versus Faber for the UFC Bantamweight Championship, the 135-pound title. Barao, now the undisputed UFC Bantamweight Champion, in my opinion, still the greatest pound-for-pound fighter in the world, whether I like to admit it or not, which I hear he's a nice guy, so happy to say that. And yeah, he won by TKO punches in round 1, midway into round 1. A lot of people thought it was an early stoppage. I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm 50-50 on it. I can see how it's an early stoppage, too early of a stoppage, because Faber had his thumb up. On the other hand, Faber was not swinging back. He stayed in that hurdle position, and he wasn't moving. So, and Herb Dean, the referee, wasn't able to see the thumb. So it's like, what? How do you rate? How do you score this? How do you go about doing this? And it was a tough call because like Faber was dropped in that match before he went into that position, and Barao was just teeing off on him, and Faber was not fighting back. So yeah, I'm kind of 50-50 on it, but I think Faber would have lost the match anyways, I think, down the line, and Barao would have easily continued to dominate and eventually finish the match, if not win a really lopsided decision. Yeah, so it was a great fun match otherwise, with a controversial stoppage. And the co-main event was for the UFC featherweight title, Jose Aldo versus Ricardo Lamas. Yeah, Ricardo Lamas, he tried his best, but this was enough. And yeah, Ricardo Lamas did a good job on striking, better than I gave him credit for, because he comes from a strong wrestling background, but he's a fairly good striker too. Jose Aldo, though, was just slightly better each round, landed some heavy leg kicks each round, and then dominated the first half of round 5, and then the last part of round 5 he was starting to get worn out, and that was that. Jose Aldo wins a unanimous decision victory. Yeah, and it was a great match though. I wanted Jose Aldo to win this, and I couldn't be happier. I actually am shocked I'm saying that. Usually I root against Jose Aldo, but this was overall a fun match. Then the biggest match physically on weight classes in the heavyweight division, we had Alistair Overeem versus Frank Mir. This was the biggest match for me because Alistair Overeem is my favorite fighter on the whole main card, or actually the whole fight card. And Alistair Overeem dominated Frank Mir in the guard each round, which is pretty impressive. And some people say, oh, he played it safe, this and that. But people forget that I thought he was going to stay standing and Alistair land more punches each round, winning unanimous decision victory or win by knockout. But Alistair made it into a grappling match, which shocked me because Frank Mir is known for his grappling. And Alistair Overeem stayed in the guard top position of Frank Mir and just kept pounding it out and was able to control the match, control the pace, land a lot of ground strikes. And Alistair Overeem, in my opinion, looked really impressive. Yeah, it's not the most flashy win, but impressive in the sense that he was able to compete with Frank Mir on the ground. And good job, Alistair. I hope he gets back in title contention now with this. Can't wait to see more of Alistair Overeem. And then also on the main card, so yeah, that fight was in the heavyweight division. And also on the main card, we had flyweight Ali Beggett Tinov and John Lineker. Yeah, Ali won this fight by unanimous decision, and yeah, this was pity patter. Ali just looked better. Not a whole lot more to say about this match. John Lineker actually made weight barely for this match for the first time in a long time, and I've been saying it for the longest time. Like Ali or not, he's a title contender. He's a guy who should be fighting for the belt at some point. Maybe next, maybe one more match and then get a title shot. But yeah, Ali is definitely in the top 10 for a reason. And he landed more strikes per round, got a clean decision victory. It wasn't the biggest grappling war. Then to kick off the main card, we had Jamie Varner versus Abel Trujillo. I wanted Jamie Varner to win this real bad because I met him in Vegas back in 2012. Great guy. Abel Trujillo, I like him too, but just prefer Jamie Varner. And yeah, this was a slugfest. And then yeah, in round 2, Abel wins by KO punch. Just really lands clean on the jaw, knocking out Jamie Varner in dramatic fashion, and that kicked off the pay-per-view, and that was exciting, explosive fight that got fight of the night, which was deserved, I suppose. I mean, I'm such a big Alistair Overeem fan that Alistair Overeem could just go in the octagon and stand there, and I think he should win fight of the night. I mean, big Alistair Overeem fan. But yeah, this fight though, I can see how it won fight of the night. Anyways, that wraps up the post-fight show for UFC 169. Stay tuned in the coming week or so for my post-fight show for Machida versus Musasi. I'll be doing a show on that. And yeah, I'll do pre-fight shows here and there whenever I can. But until then, see ya.